Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late July, moving into early August 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Scorpio collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do you got for us? What do you have for Scorpio gang in late July, early August, as we are in Leo season at the moment? What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, and we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. Let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio gang in late July, early August. What's the vibe? What's the energy? We're going to have ourselves a good time today, my friends. We're going to have some fun. There we go. Cool. Dreamy, very dreamy. This is prototypical water sign type of energy presenting itself right up front with this bubbly dream journal, etheric background looking card. And I always like it, especially for the water sign. So that's nice. It's super imaginative and it thinks outside of the box. I don't want to say it's like a fairy tale, but there's a certain whimsical energy that I connect with this. Now, before I fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the July subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this. So as you can see, we have this lovely lady here. She looks to be journaling. The background is just very etheric looking, and it's beautiful with the sunset. We got the bubbles floating through the air. It just seems very Four of Cups-esque if you know anything about the tarot deck. So it's in its mind, it's in its imagination. This is great for any sort of creative pursuit, creative endeavor, creative expression, thinking outside of the box. So now might be a great time for a lot of Scorpios to have eureka moments or great ideas, uh, whatever it might be, whether you're going through rough things, great things. Like, to me, it's like my mind is my best asset when this is here. So I think that's really nice. Now, there could also be something here about the dream state. So make sure you're getting proper, pardon me, proper rest, relaxation, recharging those batteries, that you're not burning the candle at both ends when this is here. Because sometimes this will show up when you need a bit of a break. But aside from that, it's good. The only downside to this like whimsical, daydreamy type of energy could sometimes be that it could be over fantasizing or overthinking. So watch out for that. But there's nothing wrong with having a rich internal world, my friends. We're just going to let her do what she does. She could keep journaling. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was a doozy, my friends. The reading was titled A Big Secret. It was very hush-hush, very quiet. Shh. That was the biggest vibe. It was showing up in multiple spots within the reading last week. Now, again, as someone who is part of Scorpio gang myself, I know that we are private individuals for the most part, not easy to read for the most part, but the energy did feel very hush-hush for some reason. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone, so only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Scorpio gang. What do we have in late July, early August? What's happening? Cool. 5 of Swords. Oh, okay. I mean, that could be good. I guess it depends on how you're carnalizing this energy, right? 5 of Swords has a push to it. It's like, all right, let's get this done. Let's do this thing. All right, let's keep going. See what's up. Okay. We got the 8 of Swords. So very swordsy. And like even the cards are clashing with each other when I'm trying to put them out. So this, it's a little wound tight. Let's get one more. What do we got for Scorpio gang, please? Okay, so there is going to be a bit of a bonus. Now here on the back end we have the 7 of Wands, which I really, really like. The energy is just super intense, my friends. I'm going to tell you that right now, right from the jump. So again, that's not surprising for Scorpio. But then we have the 4 of Swords right here as the bonus, which does have similarities to that Oracle card. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. And then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like that frames the reading and it tells us how the energy could flow. This week, there's a lot of swords, right? We have 5 of swords, 8 of swords, 4 of swords in the bonus, and we got a little touch of fire. So it's intense. It's very fast moving. It's very go, go, go. That's how all this seems to me. It's like go, 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 do this, do this, do this. Now, when it comes to the swords, that's air. So whether you're connected to an air sign, I always say that to me, it's very logical, pragmatic, uh, intelligent, cerebral type of energy. So I like it. It does deal heavily with strategy. The swords could be about either giving, receiving, or searching for information. So it's funny how last week we had this like very hush hush energy. Now it seems like we're trying to turn over every stone, trying to figure this out, trying to figure that out. And again, this could just be curiosity. Like you might have a strong curiosity in your mind where it's like, I just want to know, I just want to figure this out. Um, the downside to the swords is that they are the card of the mind. They're like extremely cerebral. So sometimes that can lead to the overthinking, over analyzing certain things. So just watch out for that. It could also be very cold and detached. Like I'll tell you this, Scorpio, this energy does not really look too warm and fuzzy. So, I mean, especially when we add the fire right here on the back end, that's the realm of action. So whether it's the actions you take, the actions other people take, the actions you decide not to take, it's high vibrational, high frequency. So it's like we got the air flowing, we have the fire and the air mixing and combusting. So you see what I mean? There's like this strong intensity that I'm picking up. This could deal with health and wellness too when it comes to the fire. And normally it's great for pushing things forward. The only downside to fire is that it's very hard to contain. It's very hard to control. And when all this air is feeding this fire, that's something I want to keep an eye on as we move through the reading. But let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the 5 of Swords. Now, this is a card that gets a bit of a bad reputation, but I will say this. Not only the fact that I am part of Scorpio gang myself, being a Scorpio moon, but I would also consider myself a Scorpio specialist when I do personal readings, right? I read for tons of my fellow Scorpios. I probably read for you, or most of you out there. But this 5 of Swords to me does embody some scorpionic traits, right? Because this energy is no joke, right? You see this person, spiked head, looks a little bit of aggressive, has kicked the crap out of the people in the background, has all the swords. So the reason I say this is scorpionic to me is that it does what it has to do. This is a no BS, no nonsense type of energy where it's like, let's go, let's get this going. This is a card of endless determination. When I set my mind to something, I move forward with it. So, again, Scorpio, if that's the energy you're leaning into, beautiful. Now, the downside of this card, because you know I have to paint the picture, like the good side, yes, it's about moving things further and determined and self reliance and, you know, self sufficiency and doing what's right for yourself. Nice, we'll take that. But the downside of this card, it can be a little too aggressive. This energy can push a little too hard. If you're dealing with any individuals that have a very inflated ego, you might want to watch out for that because the 5 of Swords is an energy that does not admit wrong. So we're starting with aggression. Okay, so again, it doesn't have to be a bad thing. It just feels very tense, and sometimes this card can represent conflict. Now, moving to the middle, we have the 8 of Swords, and we see this person, they're blindfolded, hoodwinked, surrounded by the swords. They could potentially feel trapped or cornered. And again, it's not a place you want to make a Scorpio feel like they're being trapped, right? Like you definitely don't want to make them feel cornered. And this energy can do that sometimes. Now, aside from that, there are really good aspects to this card. Sure, could it be stress, anxiety, nervousness, overthinking? It could be all those things. But the good thing about the 8 of Swords, it's not just a problem. To me, it could also be freeing. It could be very liberating. It could be like, okay, I finally got that over with. So, like when I see the 5 of Swords and the 8 of Swords, that is a combination. I could be like, I just need to do this. I just need to do this. I need to pull the band aid off. It's like one of those. The 8 of Swords, and it's not a long term energy either. That's the big thing with all this air energy, where it's like a bump in the road. So we'll circle back on this for sure. Moving to the back end, we're going to start seeing more of those similar scorpionic themes that I was already speaking about as we move in on the 7 of Wands. And we see this person, they're standing on a hill, battling off all these other people. In the positive sense, yes, this is more of that determination. Can't stop, won't stop. When I set my mind to something, I follow through. I will never quit. When I give my word, that's what it is. So I love the determination. I love the push. There is a sense of urgency that I'm picking up in this week's reading, too. It's very go, 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 go. I'm not playing games, right? The downside to this also shows up here, where this energy can feel like it's cornered. It can feel like it's me against the world. This can be an energy that feels like, hey, when I solve one problem, a new one takes its place. Or when I clear this situation up, another situation pops up in its place. So there is a very fiery, explosive undertone in the energy this week. And I say it all the time, if there's any water sign that could deal with it, it would be Scorpio. Now, on the very back end for your bonus, total opposite of everything we just looked at. We have the Four of Swords. What's that person doing? They're sitting there meditating, praying, taking their time, no rush. It's taking a breath. It's taking taking a break, taking a rest. So again, this is just another little footnote, but I think it's important that there's a counterbalance to all this intensity, all this fiery air mixture energy. The Four of Swords is about recharging, recuperating, and just letting something flow how it needs to flow, trusting the path, and it is hugely spiritual. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Scorpio. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for Scorpio gang. What do we got? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the Five of Swords. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to get the Scorpio gang, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is that Five of Swords here? Why is that Five of Swords here? Okay. We got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. That is absolutely an energy that I don't want to say it's forcing something, but like with the Five of Swords, Two of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, I don't care. I'm going to get what I want anyway. Or like, I don't care. I'm going to make it work one way or another. This is an energy that refuses to quit. So for some Scorpios, again, this could be carnalized in a very good way, where it's like, it doesn't matter if things are calm or good. It doesn't matter if things are all hectic and haywire. I'm going to make it work one way or another because I said I was going to do it. And I'm going to continue to do it. My word is my word. That's how this feels to me, where it's like, whether things are good, whether things are rough, it doesn't matter. I'm going to see it through. So I love the determination aspect, but there's such a busy energy here. So I'm not sure if it's in the mind. I'm not sure if it's in the emotions, but the Two of Pentacles in reverse is an energy that feels a little scattered. Feels like I'm doing this and then I'm doing that and then I'm doing this and then I'm doing that. So for a lot of Scorpios, you might have a lot on your plate, whether it's career, whether it's personal life, whether it's a mixture of all things. When I see the Five of Swords with the Two of Pentacles, it's like, I got all this stuff coming from all angles. It's like I have all this stuff happening. So if you've been in hermit mode and things have been very hush hush quiet, just know that you may have a certain magnetism to you in this time where it's like, oh, where'd all this come from? There could be a whole bunch of situations, surprising, unexpected situations popping up. I'm already picking that up, and we're only on the first one. So we're going to keep moving. So I love the determination. I love the fact that this energy does not quit unless you are dealing with an individual and they are pressing your buttons. If you are dealing with a person or a situation that's pressing your buttons, your tolerance might be thinner than it usually is when I see this. All right, so let's keep going. Let's see what's up with the Eight of Swords. Let's see why that Eight of Swords is here. Quick. Lovers in reverse, huh? Okay. So lovers usually soft, smooth, silky, easy flowing, easygoing energy. Now this doesn't mean you're going to be having problems with every single person in your life. I just want to be out front and say that, lovers, yes, it can represent romance. Yes, it can represent any partnership or any person that we hold near and dear to our hearts, right? But it is also an angelic card. Even in reverse, it is very protective. So I just have to pass that message along. For a lot of Scorpios, there is a beautiful spiritual insulation around you as well. But this energy, I don't know. I just feel like there's a lot of things and a lot of situations that are pressing my buttons right now. I don't want to say there's a specific person that you need to watch out for, but with the Eight of Swords and the Lovers in reverse, It's like, I don't know how much more I can put on my plate at the moment. I don't know how much more I can take of this, or I don't know how much more I can take of that. I don't know how many more unexpected this or unexpected that I can, can carry. That's how this feels to me. Now, for a small portion of you, if you're fine, if you're good, if everything's cool and you're carrying whatever, emotional, mental weight, and you're fine with it, which Scorpio does usually have a very big tolerance for stuff like that. Eight of Swords with the Lovers in reverse can absolutely represent someone you are connected to going through a very difficult time, specifically with mindset, specifically with things like anxiety and how their mind is viewing things. So we do have the stressed, anxious, nervous energy as well. So I just feel like there's a lot of things pressing my buttons, Scorpio. I do. Let's keep going. Yeah, watch your patience levels in this time. Let's go in on the Seven of Wands. We'll see what that has. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. Maybe hermit mode sounds like a good idea for the next week or two, right? So why is the Seven of Wands in the mix? Okay. Okay. All right. So we have the King of Wands in reverse, some more fiery energy underneath it. Um, yeah, this energy, I don't know, it just feels like it's lashing out a little bit. It does. The King of Wands, remember, all kings represent control of their respective suit. When we look at the wands, we think of action, where people direct their energy. So him in reverse is very explosive. Like this energy just like lashes out, where it's like we have the build up, we have the build up, we have the build up, and then, boop, too much food on the plate. Now I'm going to throw the plate away. So watch out for any sort of explosive situations. This could be a warning in general about overall energy, where it's like you need to, in this time, know that you have a certain capacity. Yes, you're strong, Scorpio. You're strong. You can deal with a lot. You can take a lot. You've probably been a fighter most of your life. But when the Four of Swords is here, it's like you need to pace things, though. Like you only have so much capacity for certain things, certain situations, certain behaviors. That's why I think there's such a warning here with the explosive energy, because it's like, okay, this isn't ideal, but I'm going to push through it. Yes, this kind of sucks, but I'm going to push through it. There's only so much you can just push through something. I don't know. That's what's showing up to me this week. So watch out for any things, situations, people, whatever, that are pushing your buttons more than usual, because this energy, if it's not an explosive situation, it's an explosive warning overall with the energy. Because if you look at the elements, still, it's all fire and air except for the Two of Pentacles, which is in reverse, right? Air, fire, fire, air, 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 earth. So there is this energy where it's like, okay, it could go this way or it could go that way. Let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. So very intense energy this week, Scorpio. You might need to just recuperate. You might need to just take a minute, pause for whatever reason, because the energy feels very, very busy and it's like close to the point of overwhelm. Position number one, we have the Five of Swords, Two of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, that's that fighter mentality a lot of us beautiful Scorpios are known for, where it's like, if things are ideal or not, I keep pushing, I keep going, I keep fighting, which is admirable. I think that's a beautiful thing and it's a beautiful trait. But at the same time, it just feels like I have so much on my plate. I'm juggling so much. There's so much happening. So your capacity has shown up since the beginning. In the center, we have the Eight of Swords, Lovers in reverse. Same thing, right? It's all about the capacity and how much I could take on right now. Now, for a small portion of you, maybe there's someone you're connected to that's going through a very difficult time and that's affecting you due to the energetic bond. That could very much be possible. But I think the capacity is super important, because as we get to the back, the Seven of Wands with the King of Wands in reverse, that energy lashes out. So whether it's an explosive situation or just a warning in general about the energy around the Scorpio collective, just know that there's only so much an energy can withstand, even for fighters like Scorpio. Take a break, take a rest, take a breath. Let's go in. You could take a picture if you want to look into that further yourself. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. All right, let's get this going here. What do we got for Scorpio gang? Thank you. Okay. Yeah, so even more fire, even in the shadows, it's showing up here. So we got the Knight of Wands. Now, in the good sense, this card is good for pushing things forward, right? The determination, the forward push. We like it for that. Normally, it's high energy. Yes, it can take a lot. Yes, it could make a lot of actions and affect a lot of change. The downside of the Knight of Wands is very similar to what we have here on the back end. So, more fire feeding this energy. The Knight of Wands could be wild. This energy can let loose, right? There's a reason it has the reputation it does. So if you're not connected to a fire sign yourself, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and their energy isn't feeding yours and vice versa, because there is like this bit of an energetic rubbing effect that I'm picking up too. The Knight of Wands can get very wild. So it could be temperamental. It could be an energy that has a limited capacity here. So I think taking the foot off the gas in a variety of different ways is the best route forward with anything. Even if things are great, even if things are perfect, picture perfect, which I hope it is for most of you. I hope everything's picture perfect. Still, just know that there is only so much capacity in this time, right? Because like the energy lashes out when we get to the back end. It does. So we're going to put that Knight of Wands down right there, my friends. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the July subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The July calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the July subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 lucky winners to either choose a copy of the Gilded Tarot Royale, which is one of my favorite decks of all time. It's a must-have, or a handmade pendant from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in today's reading, which one spoke to you the most or jumped out to you the most or resonated with you. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.